I represent the riding of Newmarket Aurora. In Newmarket, particularly, we do have a homelessness problem, and I have to ask you about this $97,000 spent. I cannot find a way to justify this to the people in my riding that see it. They see the people, our neighbors on the streets and struggling to find home and shelter and food. I can't walk up to them and say, I know you're homeless, but it's okay. We spend $97,000, or the minister spent $97,000 to learn about it. How do you suggest I justify that to the people in my riding?
Through the chair, so the investment in government staff who were attending, and in many cases, making contact with many of the homeless providers and support services. These are Government of Canada employees who are there to help assist.
It's not an investment. It's
They're
an expense.
making sure
it's not an
that
investment.
we are connected
it's not
to
going
the
create
people on the ground who are doing the work on homelessness.
There's not going to be an asset. It's not an investment. It's an expense. It's an expense. We're not going to see a return on that money. It's not an investment. And I have to justify it to the people in my riding. $97,000 spent to learn about homelessness. How do I tell a constituent of mine who is homeless that your government spent $97,000 learning about how he is homeless?
Through the chair, so the Government of Canada is investing billions of dollars in solutions to homelessness. We need the people who work for the Government of Canada to be connected on the ground to all the people who are doing the work, who are operating shelters, who are helping people into supportive housing. We want to make sure we're well informed and well connected to the large community of people who support people
Minister,
who are homeless.
My question is quite
simple. That's why we had a large attendance there.
My question is very simple, very narrow. How do I justify that expense to my constituent?
We need to be sure we are connected to the people who serve the homeless population across Canada. We need to make sure we're effective in rolling out our new Build Canada Homes program with supportive housing. There were a lot of meetings. There was a lot of information shared. There were a lot of relationships built with the people who are serving across Canada, the communities that are challenged with homelessness like yours. We want to make sure we're connected and doing the good work.
A lavish conference, travels, meetings upon meetings. It's not going to solve this gentleman's problem that I'm speaking about. Why not take that money? And instead of organizing meetings upon meetings, actually come into the riding and give it to the people?
Order.
The witness has answered the question many times, and it's relevant to the mandate.
It is not a point of order. Continue, Ms. Kobana, but I would remind members again to not speak over one another for the benefit of the interpretation. We need interpretation to conduct a meeting. You have the floor.
My question. Okay. I just think it's very hard to justify that expense to somebody who's struggling from homelessness and say that your government spent $97,000 learning about their homelessness. There is no justification. Switching topics, the Missing Middle Initiative told Canadians that, quote, the real crash is still ahead. New condo sales are down 89%, ground-oriented sales down 65%, guaranteeing an even deeper downturn in 2026 and beyond, end of quote. Do you agree with the industry experts that Canadians need to prepare for an even worse housing crisis?
Well, as I've said earlier, we are in a housing crisis that has been decades in the making. It's not something we solve overnight, but we have to be relentless in investing in affordable housing. Build Canada Homes is focused on non-market housing, and the Government of Canada has never had a laser focus on non-market housing. We now have a one-stop shop that is focused on delivering that affordable housing at scale. And that's a huge part of the housing crunch that we face. The market is facing real challenges in Vancouver and Toronto. And that is something that CMHC is helping with the apartment construction loan program to make sure that many of those developers can build rental housing on the projects that otherwise would not work as condos. The market goes through cycles, and we've been very fortunate as a country to have decades of the market being stable and growing.
Minister,
Unfortunately, that's created
if I may,
affordability
I don't
challenges.
have a lot of time. If
and
I
right
may
now,
ask a
the
follow-up
affordability
question?
is improving across the country in terms of markets.
In the GTA specifically, housing starts are decreasing. We know that. My particular concern, and I do get calls from constituents of mine who work for different companies that manufacture their doors or the windows or the floors, is that their shifts are decreasing. They are having talks about shutting down. All that skilled labor is going to be lost. The productivity, the capacity, rather, is going to be lost. We are not moving at the speeds that you promised.
Cobena, you're well